guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're gonna be testing out a really hyped up foundation that came out more recently, and I'm really excited. Also, got my Baja Blast with my cute little straw. I'm addicted to Baja Blast. I don't drink Mountain Dew by any means. I really don't drink soda, but listen, Taco Bell has really been taking a toll on my bank, okay? Because these are so addicting. Let's just jump right into the video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and make sure you check out my social media. They're here on the page as well as down in the description bar. Let's get into it, guys. Alright guys, so as you can see today I went to Sephora and I have picked up this foundation. I mean, everybody's talking about this foundation. It's all over the web. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation. I'm really excited to try this. You guys know in my videos I've been mentioning a lot that, you know, I'm just getting more into like natural looking foundations. I'm kind of over the whole matte foundation thing. Like for the time being, I'm not really into matte anymore. I'm kind of into natural radiant type of foundation. So I thought this would be a really good thing to test out. On the back here, it claims to be vegan, gluten-free, alcohol-free, which is really good. I actually didn't know that foundations had alcohol in them. Like I never honestly look at foundation ingredients that often, so I like that this is alcohol-free. You guys know alcohol is very drying on the skin. It is clinically tested, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, doesn't block your pores, suitable for sensitive skin, long wearing, and no flashbacks. So that is awesome. I believe this retails, let me go on to Sephora's website, I believe it's $38, which to me is pretty expensive for a foundation. I mean, most high-end foundations are in the $30 range, so I'm not surprised that it's that much. Yes, $38. You have 49 beautiful shades, and it says here it is a water-resistant liquid foundation that creates a luminous natural finish and is long-wearing even without setting powder. Now, when I read that, I'm like, is it really though? Because if you're oily like me, you need setting powder. Like, it's just a thing. The coverage is medium. The finish is natural. It is a liquid foundation, of course. It is for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. And it is free of parabens and mineral oil, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and vegan, which I mentioned. Actually, it's available in 50 shades, not 49. I didn't include this one. So 50 shades. That's really impressive. I think pretty much looking at their shade range, there is a color for every skin type in here, every skin color in here, skin tone, and that is amazing because we need more foundation companies to be, you know, releasing foundations that are for porcelain skinned people and for people of color, so kudos to that. Let's put this to the test, shall we? So I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I've been liking this in combination with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I did put a review of this on my channel, so make sure you guys check that out. But what I am going to do, girl, I look a hot mess. Look at these baby hairs. My God. Put this on my face. I'm just going to put this all over my face. This is a pricey primer, but it leaves the skin looking really good and it has a lot of anti-aging benefits, so I'm all for it. So basically, I'm just going to put that all over my face. And then what I like to do with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty is I like to put that in the T-zone on my face. Just the, you know, the spots where I have a lot of pores and like a lot of texture. I like to really smooth over those parts. So a big area for that is my nose and my forehead and my chin. So that is just where I'm going to be focusing this primer. Alright, I got you guys up close and personal. The foundation shade that I'm going to go in with is 140N. Now, the Sephora that I was at didn't have every shade. And what I mean by that is they didn't have every shade, like, out. So this was the lightest one I could purchase. I don't know why they didn't have all the shades out, but it's whatever. On this side, you have just in big letters, foundation. I like this packaging. It's very shiny. And when you open up the packaging, this product's pretty heavy, you guys. I mean, I think it feels really heavy. You have a very sleek bottle here, and then on the back here you have the word foundation. Now I just feel like this probably wouldn't be good if you are traveling. It is a glass packaging, so it is more susceptible to breaking compared to like a plastic packaging. You take off the lid, you do have a pump, which I really like, and you get 1 fluid ounce, which is very standard for almost all foundations. I am going to apply this with a beauty blender because, as you guys know, I hate using brushes. They're just just not for me. They don't work for my skin, and I just much rather would use a makeup sponge. So we got my sponge here. I'm just going to place some of this on the back of the sponge here. This, I believe, is a fair shade with like peach undertones. Like I said, this is the lightest shade they had out to purchase, so this is what I got. So I just put 2 pumps on the back of the blender here, and we are just going to dot this all over. Hopefully this will match my neck. You know how like when you put things on your neck in the store or like on your face and you try to shade match, the lighting just isn't that good. I tried to shade match and I honestly have no idea. Like I put it on my neck and it looked like it matched because there was not good lighting. So this very well might not match my skin. If not, I can always send it back and get the correct shade. But I'm gonna start by blending this into the skin. And I'm just starting with a super light amount just because it does say it's a medium finish. So usually medium finishes, you can build them up, which I'm hoping you can do with this. So far it's blending out really nicely. I didn't add a lot, so of course there's not a lot of coverage here on my face whatsoever. Don't mind these marks here. They're from my glasses. If you wear glasses, you know what I'm talking about. Like the marks just are permanently indented on my face, I swear. I'm gonna go in and actually just dot it on with my finger. I feel like the sponge really just soaked up a lot of product, which I don't think is a fair kind of first impression of the foundation itself. So we're just gonna try applying it like this and go back in and blend it out. I do think the coverage is really, really nice. I would say that it is covering up my skin and evening it out. I do think right now it's, I don't think it's the foundation, I just think it's the beauty blender, but I'm having problems kind of like spreading the product out on my face, if that makes sense. I don't think it's the foundation, I just think it's solely the beauty blender. I did just wash it, or I just cleaned it, so that could be why. I feel like it's not blending over my nose very well, which I mean also could be the primer. Maybe the e.l.f. primer doesn't work for this foundation. You know, not every primer and foundation go well together, but this is what we got so far. So this is a little too dark for me. I'm gonna have to go back and get a different shade because on camera, I mean, you guys can see a little bit the transition. It doesn't match very well. So if you guys do have a foundation that's too dark for your skin tone, you can obviously blend it on your neck and I think you would be just fine. You don't have to go back and get the correct shade. It's just more convenient that way, you feel me? Looking up close, it's beautiful. I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know. I just, like, I had high hopes for this foundation, but I didn't have, like, the highest hopes. I mean, it did get 4 stars. There's only about 150 reviews, so I wasn't, like, expecting it to be as good as it is now. When I look up close now, it kind of looks, dare I say, it kind of looks a little bit drying. Not gonna lie, which is kind of surprising to me because it's a Luminous foundation. It hasn't fully set yet. It's definitely sinking into the fine lines on my forehead, which happens with every foundation. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming the foundation for creasing into or like settling into my creases, but it's settling faster than what some other foundations would do. It looks smooth, but I don't know why. I just feel like it looks drying. Like this doesn't look really luminous, I feel, on my skin. I feel like it looks matte, which is what I wasn't going for and not how the product is advertised. I do think if you have oily skin, I do really think you would like this because it's not, I mean, you really can't see any oil on my face. So yeah, let me zoom you guys in so you guys can see for yourself what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so I turned down my brightness. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Like, it just, I don't know, I just feel like it looks kind of drying. Like, you guys can see around my nose here, it looks drying. It looks drying in this area. I feel like over here kind of looks drying, like down here in this area. I don't know, guys. I don't think I'm loving it. I'm just really like not that into it. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a little bit better than what we got going on up here. I'm going to apply some other products over it. Maybe that'll make the foundation look better. Maybe I applied too much. That could also be a thing. Maybe it's not buildable. I did put on 2 layers of it, and maybe I should have just stuck with 1. But oh, also I did pick up the little mirror I was using. You can see it's not transfer proof, the foundation, because You can see like back here, like the foundation like on my hand where I was like holding it. So it's definitely not transfer proof, at least not yet. You probably have to give it a lot of time before it fully sets down. Let's go in with some concealer. Let's see if we can fix this mess with some concealer. You guys know Milani, shit is good stuff. And basically I'm just gonna put this all over. I'm like breaking out a little bit, so we're just gonna add this to all the areas where I'm having some acne, and we're just gonna speed right through this. Okay, so I got my powder on. I used the Too Faced Born This Way powder. Let me see how I feel. I think right now, like with the powder on, just looking at a distance in my mirror, it looks good. But let's take a look up close and see how it really is. So with powder, it looks good. It looks good with powder on. I feel like this side here looks a little bit better than this side. It of course still looks a little bit drying to me, honestly. Like I wish you guys could like see my face in person, because I just feel like on the camera it's not really picking it up as well. I do think it's pretty on my skin, but it's not the prettiest. You know, I have some other foundations that look a lot prettier than this and are also a lot more affordable. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I turned down my brightness again. You guys can see it looks nice. Still looks drying in here and over here. I think with the powder, it definitely minimized the pores a little bit more. Mickey, do you guys hear that? My cat, Mickey, is obsessed with bags. More importantly, Ulta bags. So that's what you can hear crinkling. Let me remove him for a sec. Okay, actually, he's inside the bag laying down, getting ready to nap. So I'm gonna just let him in there. But yeah, you can see like my pores definitely look a lot smaller. You can see it is still, you know, settling into my fine lines on my forehead. I do have a dry spot here, and you can see it is clinging to my dry patch. So I think maybe if you have drier skin, honestly, I don't think you're gonna like this. It's not that it's not a good foundation, it's just, I don't think it's luminous. I don't think that it's as natural and as glowy as I guess I expected it to be. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go in with some bronzer. Let's, you know, bring some color back to this face, and we'll be right back. To end this video with a good note, I picked up a brand new highlighter that I've been dying to get my hands on. A lot of YouTubers rave about this highlighter. As some of you guys know, Benefit has like a 6 quad palette that you can buy that has some like highlight blushes and bronzers in it. And they have a highlight in there. It's called the Cookie Highlighter, and they actually came out with singles of it, and I've been waiting because I didn't want to purchase the whole quad. I just knew I wouldn't use any of the other colors except the highlight, and it came out in singles. So this is what it looks like. It is a super blinding champagne-y color. A lot of people say it looks really nice on fair skin types, so I was like, okay, let me try it. All Benefit products come with this little brush. I'm not a fan of those types of brushes, so I'm just going to use my own brush, and it comes in with like a little explanation of the product. However, I don't see anything in English on here, so I don't know. I don't know what this is saying, but I am gonna go in with this highlighter. I'm gonna use an Anastasia A23 brush. This is a really good highlighting brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and a lot of the reviews that I read on this say to go in very light-handed, so I'm just gonna get some on the brush here, and we are going to apply this to the skin. Ooh, that is so pretty. I definitely think you have to really like scrape in there. Like you guys can see in there like the brush strokes. Like I'm really having to dig my brush in there to get some highlighter on it. But this is really, really beautiful. Definitely starts out very subtle, and you can make it very, very shiny and glowy. Okay guys, so I just put on my brows. I don't think this foundation is really for me personally. I love Anastasia as a brand. I think they have some really amazing products. Their highlighters are some of the best highlighters on the market. I do own a lot of their products, but I don't know, this is just like a flop for me. kind of expected it to be more of a hydrating foundation, I guess. And because it's not, I don't know. I don't know why it is showing up matte on my skin, because the primers that I used aren't matte. So like my skin wasn't matte to begin with, but this really mattified my face. I don't personally think for my skin it looked luminous at all, which is kind of like the whole reason that I had picked up the foundation. So I am going to have to pass on this. I think though, for oily skin people, this is gonna work. This is going to work. Like you guys saw, like my face was super matte, and like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm like out of the matte stage right now, like, and I don't have a plan to look back. I just want to focus on some foundations that are just more hydrating and just make the skin look so plump and so juicy, and, you know, give more of a skin-like appearance, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, first of all, I gotta get the right shade. Honey, this ain't the right shade for me. It looks good though. I don't know. I just was expecting more. I was just expecting a little bit more luminosity versus kind of like a flat matte, if that makes sense. This is no shade to Anastasia. I really do like their products, and I am going to continue purchasing from them. But this foundation, just for me, it's just a flop. I'll try to keep using it. Maybe over time, my thoughts will change. Again, it could have been the primers I was using. It could be the beauty blender. There's a lot of different things that could contribute to the foundation not being good. But for this first impression, it's not a good one, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, guys, let me know. Have you tried this? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts on it? I personally am digging this highlighter. I am just blown away by the highlighter. I think Benefit did a really good job at formulating this highlighter. It's so smooth on the skin. It doesn't accentuate pores, which is amazing. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like both the products, if you hate both the products. What was your experience with them? I would love to know. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on so you are notified when I upload, and check out my social media. They're down in the description bar. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.